Hi everyone, welcome to your very first AP Calculus AB video. So our first summer video is on graphing piecewise functions using tables. Okay, before we get started on that, I want to quickly review how to graph inequalities on a number line. This is going to be really important for graphing piecewise functions. So the first one we want to graph is x is less than or equal to 3. You probably remember how to do these from when you were in Algebra 1, but we're just going to do them real quick. So if it is less than or equal to 3, we are going to put a closed circle on 3, and we are going to shade to the left because it is a less than, and less than goes to the left. Okay? For x is greater than -4, we're going to have an open circle on -4, and we are going to shade to the right. And for -2 is less than x is less than or equal to 5, we are going to have an open circle on -2, a closed circle on 5, and we are going to shade in between. All right. It's important to notice that when we did x is less than, or I'm sorry, when x is greater than -4, we put an open circle on -4. We didn't start at -3. Okay, because we can get super close to -4, we just can't actually have -4 as an answer. So that's going to be really important as we move forward. Okay, let's actually try an example of this. So graph the function f of x equals 3x plus 8 when x is less than -2, and x squared plus 4 when x is greater than or equal to -2. So this first one, I'm going to graph it in the color that I have, which right now is purple. Okay, and we know that that is going to be a line, 3x plus 8. So, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make our table of values. So x and f of x. Alright, and the domain says that x is less than -2. So most people want to start with -3 then, because that's the biggest whole number that's less than -2. But we don't want to skip -2. It's going to actually be a part of our table. I'm just going to put an open circle next to it because it just means that when we graph that point, it's not going to be a closed circle, it's going to be an open circle since it's less than -2. Alright, and then I want values that are less than that, so we can do something like -3, -4. Okay, so if we plug in -2, we get 3 times -2, which is -6, plus 8, which is 2. If we plug in -3 times 3 is -9, plus 8, which is -1. And if we plug in -4, we have 3 times -4, which is -12, plus 8, which is -4. And we can go ahead and plot those points. Again, -2, 2 is going to be an open circle. So -2, +2 is open. And then we have -3, -1, so that's right here. We have -4, -4. So that is right here. All right, and we know that that is going to be a straight line, and it keeps going. All right, so please make sure you draw an arrow. You should use a straight edge. I don't have any on me, I'm sorry you guys, but you should use a straight edge to draw that because we know it's a straight line. Okay, then we're going to do the next one. I'm going to do it in pink because that's the color that I just picked up. So x squared plus 4 for x is greater than or equal to -2. So we're going to make another table for x and f of x. All right, and again, we're going to start at -2, but we're going to make a note that now this time it's a closed circle. All right, and we want values that are greater than that. So I'm going to pick -1, 0, 1. All right, if we plug in -2, we'd have -2 squared, which is 4, plus 4, which is 8. Plugging in -1 squared is 1, plus 4, which is 5. Plugging in 0, we'd get 0 squared, which is 0, plus 4, so 4. And if we plug in a 1, we'd have 1 squared, which is 1 plus 4, which gives us 5. And you should be able to recognize that parabola right away. So negative 2, positive 8, we're going to have a closed circle. So that is right here. And then negative 1, 5, 0, 4, 1, 5. And technically we can go ahead and we know that this is going to be 2, 8. We should probably have that on our table also. Sorry guys. So if we plug in 2, 2 squared is 4 plus 4, which is 8. We're going to want that one on there also. But we know that this one only started at that negative 2, so it's going to come down and around for our parabola, and then it's going to go up on the right. So we do have that arrow there. Okay, let's try another one. All right, so this one looks a little different. This one has 3 pieces instead of just the 2, and the domains are written a little differently. So for this one it says negative infinity to negative 1. So that's really just like telling us that x is less than negative 1. So because it's a curly bracket, we know that negative 1 is not included when we look at 2x. And then for 2x squared, negative 1 has the square bracket, so it is included. And 2 has a curly bracket, so it is not included. Okay, so you do have to be comfortable looking at it with inequalities or with interval notation. So let's actually go ahead and do this one. So the first one I'm going to do in purple. And again, we're going to make our xy graph, or our f of x chart, excuse me. Okay, and we want values between negative infinity and negative 1. So again, we're going to start with negative 1 and we're just going to put an open circle next to it. And then we can pick values that are less than negative 1 from there. So we could do negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. If we plug in negative 1, that gives us 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And then we have negative 6 and negative 8. And then let's go ahead and do the next one we're going to do in pink. So let's go ahead and make our, let me focus this for a second, make sure you guys can see this okay. Sorry about that. I'm not in my classroom making this video, I'm in a different one, so it's not my equipment. X and f of x for the second function. And that one says we're going to have to be between negative 1 and 2. So we're going to pick negative 1 and it's going to be a closed circle. And then we're going to do 0, 1, and 2, but 2 is going to be an open circle. Okay. If I plug in negative 1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2. 0 squared times 2 would be 0. 1 squared times 2 gives us 2. And 2 squared would give us 4 times 2, which would give us 8. And then we do have one more piece for this one, so I'm going to do this one in green. I like doing these in different colors for you guys so that we can kind of see what's going on. Alright, so our last one, x and f of x. This one says we're going to use negative x plus 3 from 2 to infinity, and both of those have curly brackets. So neither of those are included, and that makes sense for infinity especially. But for 2, we're going to put an open circle. And then we can just do 3, 4, and 5, so we can get a nice picture of what's going on. So if I plug in if I plug in 2, excuse me, it would be negative 2 plus 3, which gives me 1. If I plug in 3, it'd be negative 3 plus 3, which is 0. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. And negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. So we can go ahead and graph each of those individual pieces now. So starting with the first one, we're going to have an open circle at negative 1, negative 2. Negative 2, negative 4. And then we can keep going. There's our negative 3, negative 6, and then negative 4, negative 8 would be right here. And again, because this one is a straight line, you should grab a straight edge. Again, I don't have any on me, unfortunately, but we're going to want our straight edge like that. Okay. Then for the second one, it's a parabola, so hopefully we've got a nice parabola shape going on. Negative 1, 2 is going to be a closed circle, so negative 1, positive 2 is closed. 0, 0, 1, 2, and then 2, 8 is going to be an open circle. Okay, and we can just connect our parabola there. Notice on this one, because this one stops at 2, we don't draw it off going to infinity for forever. Okay, it stops at 2, 8. And then for our last one, we've got 2, 1, and that's going to be an open circle as well. So 2, 1 is an open circle. 3, 0, 4, negative 1, 5, negative 2. And this one does keep going. Oops. It would be nice if you had a straight edge, Miss J. There we go. And that's what our graph looks like there. All right, you guys have a couple of problems in your packet now to practice, and I will see you guys later. Bye.